UFC Vegas 111. I have a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, aka the White Boy Wonder, and you heard right, a pick and a prediction for every single fight. Bonfim versus Brown, our main event. There's actually a few fights on here I'm pretty excited for. I love seeing my boy Daniel Marcos. We got the Moose coming back. Some heavyweights going at it. Ricky Simone, Dog. Taco Padilla. Now, I don't know how Matt Schnell and Joseph Morales came to be the co-main event, but, it is what it is. So, overall, it's an Apex card. What do you expect? Now, next week, different story, right? But yeah, UFC Vegas 111 in a nutshell. It should be pretty solid, not going to lie. Now, as we always do, we have to recap last week. UFC Vegas 110. Pulling the results up here right now, and we went 7-5 on the picks. It was a weird week in the Apex. Now, Steve Garcia, Mean Machine, comes through for us. My boy. And as we always do, we back our boys. But the Ante Delija fight was weird. The Isaac Dolgarian fight was weird. Right? Already getting cut from the UFC. People refunding bets on that fight. Weird one. Charles Radke grappling, we usually see him striking. And honestly, I was looking pretty good at the beginning of this card. I was 5-0, and I'm like, damn, I'm feeling nice. But, from there, things did not go our way. But 7-5 on the picks, still not bad. It was an overall entertaining card. Some weird shit happens, as usual in the Apex. I'm sure it'll happen again here for UFC Vegas 111. But yeah, guys, let's get into it here. A pick and a prediction for every single fight. Let's not waste time. Our main event, Gabriel Bonfim, 18-1, versus Randy Rude Boy Brown. Call me Rude Boy. Odds on the fight, minus 180 for Gabriel Bonfim, plus 140 for Randy Brown. My pick for the fight is going to be Gabriel Bonfim. This is one of the good Bonfim brothers, okay? The other brother, we'll talk about later, not really a fan of. But Gabriel Bonfim is the good Bonfim brother. He's coming off a lackluster win versus Wonder Boy, which, dude, he just barely slid by, man. Not able to secure takedowns, a lot of fence pushing, a lot of close moments. That fight really could have gone either way. I was backing Bonfim. I had Bonfim. But it was close. I'm not going to lie. Now he's going up against Randy Brown, who is a pretty solid fighter as well. Again, he has the age advantage, I guess. 7 years younger than Randy Brown here. And Gabriel Bonfim's only loss on his career, coming to Nicholas Dalby, who Randy Brown just handled, right? Slept Nicholas Dalby, which hasn't happened to him. So, something to keep note of, right? If you do MMA math, you would say Randy Brown is going to beat Bonfim because he beat, and just recently beat, the only guy that was able to beat Bonfim. But as we said before in the past, MMA math does not always work like that. But I like Gabriel Bonfim because I think he's good at range. Cardio seems to be improving. Good kicks, good takedowns. I think he's able to take down Randy Brown probably multiple times too. It's not like Randy Brown has the best takedown defense. Yes, he's very long and lanky and can hold himself up on the fence for a while, but after a certain point, Gabriel Bonfim is going to find some sort of entry to a takedown. And when he does get on top, ground and pound's nice, subs are nice, rolls with top position. He just has really good top control. Now, I will say Bonfim's not really good in brawls, not good with a frantic pace. If Randy Brown comes in with a super volume heavy in your face kind of approach, hey, might find success doing that here for minutes or rounds. But I think Bonfim, he's just been finding a way to win. He's been finding a way to win. Randy Brown has okay cardio. I think he has a good first round, a good first and second round, right? But this is a 5-round fight, and I think Bonfim is going to treat it as such. And I keep saying it. Bonfim keeps finding a way to win. And I think he does it by mixing up his game. I think he really is going to shine here in this fight. I think he's going to mix up everything. with his nice movement, good footwork, crafty striking, takedowns. Probably present some submission threats here and there. I could see him finding like a rear naked choke in the 4th or 5th. I could, if he's if his cardio is up to par and is able to make it that far. Gabriel Bonfim by submission is live. I think that's what I'm going to roll with here for the main event. Gabriel Bonfim by submission. That's my official pick for the main event. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Matt Schnell versus Joseph Morales. Odds on the fight plus 200 for Matt Schnell, minus 250 for Joseph Morales. My pick for the fight is going to be Joseph Morales. I'm taking the most recent Ultimate Fighter winner. He's much younger. I think he has a lot more power in the hands. People doubted him in that last fight versus Uros, and he ended up getting a nice submission. Looked really good in those first 2 rounds there. And I think that he wins this fight with the grappling. Matt Schnell is an entertaining fighter, right? Win or lose, he's going to put on an entertaining fight, and he's got some sneaky submissions too. So if this does hit the mat, Joseph Morales is going to have to be on his P's and Q's on the mat, right? Because Matt Schnell can kind of whip one out of his butt, you know what I mean? But Matt Schnell loves to go to war with people, and I guess maybe not loves to, but like tends to, and that's not really the best for him because he gets pieced up. Joseph Morales has some nice striking, nice boxing, and I think he's able to handle him on the feet, but man, he's going to get taken down with ease, right? Joseph Morales is going to take down Matt Schnell with ease. I think he's able to handle him on the mat. I think it's going to be inside the distance because, as I said, Matt Schnell goes to war with people, and usually the fight gets called at some point. Now, I will say, Morales did get cut from the UFC prior to this. Matt Schnell's been a ranked fighter. He is 4 years older at 35 years old, but Morales getting this second chance here. I think the new blood shines, and I think Morales is able to finish Matt Schnell. I think he's going to knock him out on the ground with ground and pound. I think he's able to get a finish there, and the ref calls the fight. Just gets him to a position, probably curled up onto the fence and on the mat, where he's not able to defend himself and just gets hit with big shots. So, my official pick for the co-main event, which is complete dog shit in my opinion, Joseph Morales by KO. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Muslim Salikhov versus Uros Medic. Odds on the fight plus 170 for Muslim, minus 205 for Medic. My pick for the fight is going to be Muslim Salikhov. Give me the old man. Give me the 41-year-old. 2 straight nasty knockouts. 3 straight wins. Dude still has it at this age. Uros Medic is chinny. He's super hittable. When I saw this fight get announced, I immediately tweeted bet the under, because there's no way this fight is going the distance. Uros Medic has never been distance in his career. And Muslim Salikhov is old. He could get knocked out. Or he could, like I just said, in which I anticipate, knocks out Uros Medic somehow, some way. Now, when Uros Medic connects, it's clean, right? If he finds a shot on Muslim, it could happen. I'm not going to lie. He's going to be faster. He's probably going to be in his face a little bit. But that immense pressure is probably going to be his downfall, because Muslim Salikhov is going to get his reads in. He has really great kicks to all levels. He's going to use those. He's going to find the shot on Uros Medic and lay him down clean. I'm really not going to go into it too much. That is my opinion on the fight. Muslim Salikhov by KO. I'm pretty confident in it too. Honestly, the fight to end in KO at least, but that number might be too wide. You know what I mean? Because everyone's anticipating a knockout on one of the sides here, and I'm gonna roll with the old man. Muslim Salikhov by KO. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Ismael Bonfim versus Chris Taco Padilla. Odds on the fight minus 215 for Ismael, plus 165 for Taco Padilla. My pick for the fight is Chris Taco Padilla. Now, this is the bad Bonfim brother here, Ismael Bonfim. He's a quitter. He gives up. In both his Salikhov fight and the BSD fight, he gave up. When times get tough, he gives up. I don't bet on quitters. I don't pick quitters. Okay, you have a win over Vince Pichel. Not really that impressive. You have a win over Terrence McKinney, who, it was a second round Terrence McKinney, right? First round Terrence McKinney, different story, right? But you're getting Terrence McKinney in the second round, and we all know there's a big difference there, right? So, I mean, he's okay. He has similar traits to his brother, but it's more of a striking base. He's not really looking to grapple or wrestle at all. On something to think about, I guess, is he able to take down Padilla? But no, probably not, man. Chris Padilla has looked really good in the UFC, and he finds himself as a dog again. Are you kidding me? 3-0 in the UFC. Wins over Rong Zhu and Jai Herbert most recently, which are pretty nice wins. Good and heavy leg kicks, nice jab, good counters, solid head movement for the most part, right? Now, he probably will be on the back foot. He usually is on the back foot. Ismael Bonfim will probably be the pressuring fighter, but Chris Padilla ain't a quitter. Chris Padilla hits hard and throws with intent. I mean, Ismael Bonfim, when he starts facing adversity, just doesn't go right. Things don't go his way. He gives up. All right? And Chris Padilla is not a quitter. If you're going to give me somebody who's a dog, been in there, fought to split decision with Jai Herbert, elbowed. Ooh, that elbow over Rong Zhu in the eye was nasty. But Chris Padilla has solid wins in the UFC. And he's almost a 2-1 underdog here. And I think Bonfim has a little bit of hype on him, as he always had, and because his brother's here in the main event, that's probably why he sees himself as the favorite. I don't see it happening. I see Chris Padilla either getting a decision win or knocking out Bonfim. We saw Chris Padilla with a nasty submission too, which he just snatched up the back real quick. Oop, put the choke in, dude tapped in like immediately. So I don't know. Chris Padilla inside the distance. I mean, you really don't need to be chasing props, in my opinion, if you're going to be betting on Chris Padilla. You got him at a solid underdog number. So, yeah. Taco Padilla is my pick. Bonfim's a quitter. Ismael Bonfim is, at least. And we don't pick quitters around here. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, next fight. Honestly, two dogs going at it here. Ricky Simón versus Raoni Barcelos. Odds on the fight here, minus 175 for Ricky Simón, plus 145 for Barcelos. My pick for the fight is Ricky Simón. Honestly, I think he's really resurrected his career after dropping 4 straight losses, which against really good competition, by the way. I mean, dyeing the hair blonde really changed this man in Ricky Simón. 2 straight wins, beating a Javid Basharat, big upset, and a big fraud check for Basharat. And then, I mean, a win over Cameron Smotherman, nothing to really brag about, but he showed levels to the game, right? But his losses, man, like Song Yadong, Mario Bautista, Vinicius Oliveira, these are some of the best in this division here. So am I going to give him grief for those? I really can't, because prior to that, Ricky Simón was on a roll, man. He was on a roll. He had won 5 in a row, bro. Ray Borg, Gastino Perillo, Brian Keller, Rafael Asuanco, probably saying all these names wrong, Jack Shore. But it's just when he goes up to that upper echelon of fighters, right? He, doesn't end up getting the nod. He did beat Montel Jackson and Merab in the past. Those are some really solid wins and to have under your belt. But I mean, that was quite some time ago. Barcelos, man, also resurrected his career. Beat Christian Quinones, who we're seeing fight later here today. Not later here today. Who we're breaking down later today. Beat Peyton Talbot, fraud checked him. Beat a Cody Garbrandt. So Barcelos, after losing some wins to some respectable competition, and this is also resurrected his career. It's just, I'm thinking in my head, who's gonna outdog each other? Like, who's gonna outdog the other dog? Because both of these guys are dogs. But I've seen Barcelos get outdogged before. This is a weird thing to kind of say. This is the way I'm breaking this fight down. I don't know. Simón hits pretty damn hard. Takedowns are pretty good. They're not elite, right? He probably could and will start the grappling and wrestling exchanges with Barcelos. But Barcelos also has offensive grappling, as we've seen with Peyton Talbot, was able to just hold him down on the ground for 3 rounds. And if Barcelos gets taken down, he just won't lay there. He'll scramble and try and get up. Also decent to clinch. I mean, I feel like these guys are just going to go to war. I honestly do. And, Simón's younger. I think that he has a little more power in the hands. I think he is a little more physical. I think he's going to find more success in the first part of the fight. And I think Barcelos is going to find more success in the later parts of the fight. It's a close one, man. It really is. But pressure, power, and wrestling on the Simone side, that's why I'm picking Ricky Simone. So Simone by decision. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, next fight we have Marco Tulio versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Odds on the fight -150 for Tulio, +120 for CLD. My pick for the fight is Marco Tulio. Not with high confidence though, because man, CLD as an underdog, with all the people that he's gone up against and that impressive win he's coming off of versus Eric Anders, it's tough to see him as it's I don't know if it's a trap or not. It's like, damn, CLD finally as an underdog, because he's usually coming in as like a -400, 500, 600 favorite in these fights here. Now he sees himself as an underdog versus Marco Tulio, and I think the reason is because Marco Tulio can offensively wrestle and grapple, and that's kind of one of CLD's weaknesses, right? Now he lost to Gregory Rodriguez, got handled for 3 rounds, quite honestly. I don't know if Marco Tulio's watched that fight or is going to implement that same type of game plan, but he can, right? And damn, that Yosuri Belgarui fight, aging pretty damn nice, because we saw Belgarui, the one I doubted, pretty hard actually, come through with the win just last, and looked very damn impressive doing it too. So, it's tough, because if Marco Tulio is not able to secure those takedowns, I don't know, it'll be a close kind of striking battle. And it's not like Marco Tulio's out here fighting the competition CLD is. I mean, Tresean Gore and Ihor Potieria, come on now. CLD's fighting Gregory Rodriguez, Robocop, Dennis Tululin, Andre Puliev, Eric Anders. I would say CLD's fighting a little bit of better competition than Tulio. He has way more fights in the UFC, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's fighting pretty damn consistently too. This is one I might pick flip on. It really is, because I don't know. I got to check weigh-ins. I got to see things throughout the week. Again, if I do make a pick change or flip, I always post it on Twitter and in the pinned comments so you guys will know. I mean, he's taller, has the reach advantage, has good kicks. Now, the smaller cage at the apex is not going to help CLD. He probably likes a bigger octagon. He really needs to stay off the fence, because Tulio can probably hold him up there, and we've seen CLD just get held up on the fence and not really have an answer. Oh, okay. Yeah. Marco Tulio's a pick for right now. I think he has a lot. I think he has more power and more physicalness to him than CLD's opponents have had in the past. I think that wrestling and grappling edge that Tulio has and possesses is going to maybe throw CLD off. And if Tulio is able to secure takedown, probably going to hold him there for the rest of the round. So, I mean, with all those factors given, I got to roll with Marco Tulio. I'm going to say by decision, though, because CLD is a tough guy, tough cookie. I don't see him getting knocked out here. And I don't see Tulio getting knocked out. I don't know. Ooh. CLD with a nice clean punch. You never know. But Tulio by decision is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Jamall Emmers versus Hyder Amil. Odds on the fight here, we have +124 for Jamall Emmers, -148 for Hyder Amil. My pick for this fight is going to be Hyder Amil. Now, I want you guys to look at the last 8 fights for Jamall Emmers, okay? It is literally win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Win, his most recent one. What do you think is coming next? A loss, okay? He cannot string 2 wins together in the UFC to save his life, okay? Super inconsistent on that regard. And I mean, just based upon the trend, you have to back Hyder Amil here, okay? 8 straight fights, it's gone win-loss. You're going to tell me he's not going to lose this next fight after coming off a win? No, you're not going to tell me that. And there's, some other factors as well to this, right? People that get up in Jamall Emmers' face with constant pressure and overwhelm him find a lot of success in those fights. Guess what Hyder Amil does? That's his whole game, man. He's an aggressive forward pressure guy. He's always in your face, throwing tons of volume, has power in the hands, can hold you up on the fence. Jamall Emmers likes a little pretty fight, right? He likes to strike from range. And, he's had some close fights and close decisions. Honestly, He has some split losses. Jack Jenkins, another one in the past. But I compare this to this Nate Landwehr fight. It's very similar. Hyder Amil has a very similar kind of style to Nate Landwehr. Loves to brawl, loves to come in forward, won't back down, will get in your face, and will wilt you if you can get wilted. And we've seen Jamall Emmers do that. Again, he has not put 2 wins together in a row in the UFC in his whole career. His last 8 fights have literally gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. Hyder Amil by KO is my official pick for this fight. He's going to get up in Jamall Emmers' face. He's going to overwhelm him with pressure. He's going to break down Emmers and eventually just beat the crap out of him. He'll probably be like this in the corner on the fence. That's my anticipation of the fight. So Hyder Amil by KO is my official pick. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Mayra Bueno Silva versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Odds on the fight plus 205 for MBS. Minus 250 for Cavalcanti. My pick for the fight is going to be Jacqueline Cavalcanti. She is the rising prospect here with 4 straight wins in the UFC. However, if Mayra Bueno Silva is able to secure takedowns, is Jacqueline Cavalcanti going to have a tough time on the ground? I will say this. Now you would say, MBS is not looking good lately, and you're not wrong. All right, a no contest and then 3 straight losses. Now, Raquel Pennington, Macy Chiasson, Jasmine Jastovicius, these are pretty high-level people in this division here. So, are you going to give her too much grief for those losses? Probably not. You look on the opposite side in Cavalcanti's competition, right? Julia Avila, Nora Cornell, Josiane Nunez, Zara Farn. Her best win is Nora Cornell in those last 4 fights. She is, 6 years younger than Mayra Bueno Silva. She's definitely the better striker. Mayra Bueno Silva has this huge face. Loves for it to get hit. And I see Cavalcanti hitting her face quite often. Silva has a good overhand. But again, if she's not securing takedowns, she's not winning this fight. She's definitely a takedown or bust, in my opinion. I'm officially declaring this fight for MBS a takedown or bust. Okay? Cavalcanti, watch your kicks. Don't get held up on the fence. Stay at range. I know it's the Apex cage, so it's going to be a little bit smaller. But I think she's able to outstrike her for 3 rounds. MBS is tough. She can take a punch and she'll get hit for 3 rounds. She got hit for 5 rounds in some of these fights and was able to still survive. So I'll take Cavalcanti. We'll take her by decision. And that's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Josh Hokit versus Max Gimenis. Odds on the fight minus 400 for Hokit, plus 300 for Gimenis. My pick for this fight is going to be Max Gimenis. And I know everybody is probably going to be on that Josh Hokit side. I know everybody watched that Dana White Contender Series fight and was impressed. However, I will say this. Josh Hokit, prior to starting MMA, which he's only 6-0 his career, has only 6 fights in his career, playing football, right? He was a football player. And, I'm not here to knock on the former football players in the UFC, but they don't really have a good track record, to be honest with you. Max Gimenis, what has he been doing his whole life? He's been in combat sports, bro. He's been grappling and doing combat sports since 2013 officially, right? That is 12 years of experience. And Josh Hokit just started in 2023. Yes, he has fights in Bellator and LFA. Are those the best organizations? No. And then you're going to be like, who is Max Gimenis fighting in his fights? He's fighting over in what? Shogun? That's not really a good organization either, to be honest with you. But I'm just going to take the experience here. And at a plus 300 at a heavyweight fight, dude, anything can happen in these heavyweight fights. How experienced is Josh Hokit on the ground? Is he going to go up against a jiu-jitsu ace in Max Gimenis here? Right? I would say he's probably a lower level Buchecha. But if he's able to snatch up a submission, we've seen it in this heavyweight division, bro. We've seen it multiple times. Walter Walker, the prime example here, is not a lot of these heavyweights are very versed on their mat. Let's be honest, right? And Max Gimenis, I don't know how to say it, with all of his experience in combat sports, I'll take a shot at him, man. I don't see why. Josh Hokit's not the best striker in the world. Neither is Max Gimenis. I mean, both these guys are looking to get this fight to the mat. Josh Hokit with just more physical strength and wrestling per se. Max Gimenis with more skill and technique to his, takedowns and approach to the fight. So, man, give me Max Gimenis. And I'm going to take him by submission. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. Ladies going at it. We have Tecia Pennington versus Denise Gomes. Odds on the fight here. What do we got? Plus 154 for Tecia, minus 185 for Denise Gomes. My pick for the fight's going to be Denise Gomes. I mean, 11 years younger, going to be much quicker, stronger, more physical. Has looked pretty damn good in her last few fights. I will say Tecia is fighting a lot better competition. Tecia is my hometown girl, okay? Shout out to Colorado Springs. So it is tough for me to pick against her, but I mean, come on now. Are we really going to do this here, guys? Yeah, I know Denise Gomes lost to Angela Hill almost 2 years ago, but it's a good kind of loss and learning experience to have on your record. And some would say she won that fight, aka me. I thought she won it. But beat Eduarda Mora, beat Carolina Kowalskic, beat Elisa Reed, and finished Elise Reed, right? Dude, Denise Gomes got power in the hands. She got a bomb, right? And she's going to be a little bit, I mean, these girls are tiny, right? I thought Denise Gomes was tiny, but Ticia's even tinier, 5'1", 60-inch reach. Man, I'm going with the Brazilian lesbian, dude. Who's tough, who's small, has some grit and serious power for this division. I mean, again, Ticia's been around the block a couple times. I mean, I think she could probably find success slowing the fight down, engaging in the clinch on the fence, maybe trying to secure takedowns at all. Come in with blitzes and avoid shots. But I think Denise Gomes has better moments. Even if she's slowing down in the later parts of the rounds, I still think she has the better moments throughout. So both of them are tough. I think it goes to decision. We're going to take Denise Gomes by decision. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. This is a solid fight here, guys. We have Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. Odds on the fight here. We got plus 145 for Miles Johns, minus 175 for Daniel Marcos. My pick for the fight is going to be Daniel Marcos, okay? Give me the tough Peruvian. And I look closely at this guy. This dude has crazy eyes, okay? Right before the fight, this guy has crazy eyes. But I like his style, man. Constant hand fighting, feints, gives you tough looks. Kickboxing is very, very nice. Throws really good kicks. Decent cardio. He's all right on the fence, but I could probably see him getting held up a lot there. He really just needs to keep this fight at range and at space. And I think he gets the best of Miles Johns. Miles Johns can probably find success with wrestling and engaging in the clinch and holding him up on the fence. But I think straight up striking match, I think it's Daniel Marcos all day. I think they do exchange. I see Miles Johns he lunges and whiffs a lot. It might be hard for him to hit Marcos. His boxing's okay, and he does work the body pretty good, so I do like that for Miles Johns. And he had a tough loss last time to Gene Matsumoto. It was a split decision, but I do believe that Matsumoto pulled it out. And, man, Daniel Marcos got some solid wins. Davey Grant, John Castaneda, Adrian Yanez. Yeah, he lost to Montel Jackson, but I would believe Montel Jackson would beat Miles Johns as well. Felipe Lima beat Miles Johns, but he beat the crap out of him. Man, I'm a fan of Daniel Marcos. I just think he's probably going to be bigger than him. I think he can avoid the takedowns. He is a little bit hittable, and he will get hit in those exchanges there, but I think he gets the better of them. I think he mixes it up more. Yes, his last fight with Jackson was awfully boring, but again, it's hard to beat a guy like that. So, Daniel Marcos, by decision. I think Marcos is the more clean technical striker, can keep it on the feet, avoid the times in the fence, and win the better moments throughout the fight. Daniel Marcos by decision is my official pick. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight, the first fight of the night. In the last fight we're breaking down here, we have Robert Valentin versus Jackson McVey. The Moose. He's back, guys. Odds in the fight, minus 150 for Valentin, plus 125 for McVey. My pick for the fight is going to be Robert Valentin. Man, I wanted to pick the Moose. I wanted to root for the Moose. But after seeing his last performance versus Bruno Ferreira, you can just see that he's probably not ready for the UFC at this point. He looked lost on the mat. If Robert Valentin avoids any sort of huge shots that come from McVey's way, because he does definitely have a puncher's chance, just like everybody does in the UFC, he could probably find a submission on the mat, dude. Again, Jackson McVey looked so lost on the ground when Bruno Ferreira was on the ground. And it honestly pulled off an armbar with ease, man, right? And there are a lot of good qualities to the Moose, right? Big, tall guy, good knees in the clinch, good kicks, strong. But, like, he doesn't really have technique to any of his stuff, right? He just gets people down, like, athletically and physically. Bad takedown defense. I mean, Robert Valentin's, like, not the best person. He's unreliable, but, I mean, he's definitely going to have the grappling edge here. He's definitely going to hunt for submissions, which he's pretty dang good at it, I'm not going to lie. And I bet you a lot of people are going to be on Valentin's sub here, but it makes sense. It makes sense. But, man, he's going to close distance. He's going to secure body lock. You'll get a good takedown, and Jackson McVey is going to end up getting submitted somehow, some way. So, he's not a takedown or bust, Valentin is, but, you know, he can strike. But honestly, just getting into the mat's going to help him here. Valentin, by submission, is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, guys. As promised, a pick and a prediction for every single fight for UFC Vegas 111. If you have made it this far, appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Click that subscribe button for me if you have not yet. We are making our way to 500 subscribers. We are at 349. So if you could, click that button for me and help me get to my goal. Secondly, my Patreon is free. Links in the description. That's where you can see all of my bets when I place them. We didn't have a bets video last week. Things, were busy throughout the week. I can't guarantee you a bets video every single week, but I have given you a pick video every single week for over a year plus. Okay, so the picks video is very consistent, but check the bets. They're always on the Patreon. I posted them on YouTube too in a post, so I make sure to get that out to you guys. But you can see all the bets before the bets video comes out on the Patreon for free. Link is in the description. Let's have a good week this week for UFC Vegas 111. Young Pasty, the white boy wonder. Out. Let's go.